of what is happening in the American right, okay, you're clearly seeing the contours here, which is that Tucker is in the pocket with J.D. Vance. They are in somebody's pocket. They are a part of a clique. They are a part of something. Tucker says, I love J.D. Vance. He's a good man. I just don't want to hurt him. I don't even remember the last time we talked. Dude, his son worked for him. Clearly, they're in bed together. And Tucker hates me. Tucker says, I'm not that popular. I have no power. Everything I say is a distraction. It's misdirected energy. Race and religion don't matter. I have no real impact on the conversation. It's all about economics. He says, I'm a Fed. All these other disparaging things about me. Simultaneously propping up Vance, simultaneously dismissing me. But you map onto that also this ideological divide where Tucker says the real issue is the economic system. Those are the real issues. And they're only expressed or misdirected towards race, religion. What's really happening in the real future and the real wave is the discontent over the lack of economic opportunity. Suffice to say, Vance is the remedy. Vance is going to give us our colorblind meritocracy where the young people can buy houses and get jobs, and that the other stuff doesn't matter. And obviously, the inverse of this is that I am the problem. I am hurting Vance. I'm not a fan of Vance. I'm taking support from Vance, and I'm taking support from Vance in the service of something that is either the agenda of the elites, and this is meant to distract from the fact that the masses don't support their economic and national security agenda, or I'm just a misguided young person who just has it wrong, and what I really am about is that the housing market is unaffordable and there's no jobs, and I just have the wrong idea. I'm leading everybody astray. And you could see very clearly that this is where they want to take it. They want Vance to be in the White House, and they don't want to do anything about immigration. They don't want to do anything about Israel. They don't want to do anything about any of these things. Do you think when J.D. Vance gets elected that they're going to address H-1Bs? Why would they? All the tech people that support Vance need H-1Bs. Never going to happen. You think when Vance gets elected, they're going to build the border wall? They're not building it now. You think he's going to keep us out of Iran? They can't keep us out of Iran right now. Tucker says the neocons don't want Vance to be the president. Really? The same neocons that were 100% behind his ticket with Trump? The neocons that he spoke to at the Quincy Institute when he put a pro-Israel spin on America First? It's just ridiculous. His chief of staff, Jacob Reeses, who is a Jewish Zionist? What are you talking about? This is where they're trying to take it. And people like Tucker and Thiel and Vance and Musk and all these people that are part of this thing, whatever it is, they see me as a massive inconvenience. I am a massive thorn in their side.
Yeah, that's right, but I actually believe that this is like the main reason why so many people like Nick Fuentes, why they like to listen to him, because you don't hear this anywhere else, right? And this is probably also the main reason why you are watching this video now. And I do believe that someone like a Nick Fuentes, who is actually America First, that he is better for our country than a guy like J.D. Vance, aka like J.D. Plant. This guy is almost like a ghost with eyeliner. Like, what is this guy even doing? You barely see him. He is our vice president and you never ever see this guy. This ghost with eyeliner is not good for us. He didn't do anything in favor of our country. People think that he is like different than Donald Trump. He is just Trump 2.0. Even worse, this guy cannot do anything. Like, he is just a puppet of this whole Trump administration, and then you really think that he is gonna be better if he will be our next president? Are you kidding me? I'd rather make my dog the president of the United States than J.D. Plant. This guy is a spook. He is a clown. He wears eyeliner. How can you trust this man?
Because I'm the only one that is telling the truth about this stuff. I'm out here doing this dumbass show telling people, yeah, it's about the it is a problem. It is a oligarchy. It's not the secular government of Israel's policies under Netanyahu. No, we have a oligarchy. And yes, it is about race. It's not a lack of economic opportunity. We're a minority in our own country, and it's miserable. You understand. If you have kids in a public school, if you live in a working or middle class neighborhood, if you live in and around a major metro area, if you have a job anywhere, if you ever have to deal with customer service, if you've ever driven on an interstate, on a highway, you know, yes, the problem is an identity problem. It's a demographic problem. No, it's not just the jobs. The job market happens to be bad. But that is not our antipathy towards immigration and demographic change is not a transmutation of that problem. That's a byproduct of it. That's just a negative externality of the real problem, which is the immigration. And so I think that Tucker brought me on. I don't even know why, but it seems like it was to neutralize me. Tucker and Vance are in league. It's very clear last year that I was gathering steam and I was becoming more popular, and I might be a problem for Vance in 28, and I might even be a problem for Tucker. And so I'm sure they brought me in to try to neutralize me so that I would not be an adversary. And when it became clear that I didn't stand down, when it became clear that I stuck to my guns, then they threw me right back under the bus, and it turned into, oh, actually, it was an intervention. It wasn't an interview, it was an intervention. And Tucker now says I brought him on the show so that he could run his mouth and expose himself. And I brought him on the show to confront him over his anti-Semitism. And I gave him the speech about blood guilt, and he just won't listen. And so he's still a problem. And that's very clearly what is going on here. And I would just say about all of it, I'm not in this so that we can elect a CIA agent. I don't trust Vance. I don't trust Tucker. These people are liars. Tucker is a liar. Vance is a liar. Nobody even knows what they actually believe. Tucker says in the same interview, he said, I never criticized Israel in my entire career until 2 years ago. We don't even know who you are. We have no idea who you really are, what you really believe, who you really work for. I don't even know what the you are. I don't know who Vance is. Who is J.D. Vance? 10 years ago, he voted for Evan McMullin, a CIA agent. 15 years ago, he was mentored by David Frum, a neocon speechwriter for George W. Bush. 10 years ago, he wrote an article dedicated to Barack Obama about how smart he was, and white people hate him because they're jealous that he's smarter than they are. He wrote a book called Hillbilly Elegy about how he married an Indian immigrant as a you to his loser family that couldn't get out of their own way. Hillbilly Elegy is about how white people are blaming everybody else for their problems. They need to get to work and pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Stop blaming international trade and mass migration. Now J.D. Vance is going to be the standard bearer of America First. Now he's going to be the leader of the movement, and the Groypers are going to fall in line behind him. Tucker's dad ran Voice of America for the CIA. Tucker, in his gap year, is in Nicaragua fighting with the Contras after the Iran-Contras affair. We're not supposed to talk about that. That's attacking his family. You want to talk about elites being out of touch, youth unemployment? You tell us you don't know why your Nepo baby son works for Vance? I mean, are you kidding me? We don't even know who these people are. They are liars. They insult our intelligence daily. And it works because most people are pretty dumb. But I don't trust them. I don't trust Tucker. I don't trust Vance. I don't trust Peter Thiel. These people are weird. These people are not like me. I am from Chicago. Who's this kid from Chicago? Yeah, I'm from Chicago. Okay, my grandparents were on Taylor Street. My dad grew up on the West Side. My mom grew up in Melrose Park. I'm a real American. I don't know who you are. I didn't take a gap year in Nicaragua with the Contras. I didn't accompany my dad to Pakistan. Okay? I didn't work for the Weekly Standard. I didn't work for Fox News for 20 years before I woke up and realized there's something going on with Israel one day. I don't have any contracts with the CIA. I'm not obsessed with the Antichrist like these other people. Okay? I don't know what any of that is about. These people are not like me. These people are not like me. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they're about. And by the way, I never got a contract. I never got a jersey. These people want me and the Groypers to be on the team. Why won't all of you just join up with Vance? Don't you realize blah, blah, blah? Hey, listen, pal. I'm not being paid. I never signed a contract. I'm not wearing a jersey. You want to let me in on the master plan? I got people all the time telling me, Vance is actually great. You just got to give him a chance. Well, you know what? If there's some master plan nobody told me, I didn't get invited to Skull Island and get the blueprint. I didn't get the schematics on how Vance is going to deliver everybody. I didn't get let in on this story. So they're always telling me, Vance is our guy. You just got to trust it. You got to get behind him. You're really becoming a problem for us. Well, I'm not wearing a jersey, and none of these people are ever nice to me, and they never help me, and I'm not a part of that. So why do you think I'm on the team? What do I owe you now?
I really like this because it's good. You can better stay like independent all by yourself instead of like being part of this loser JD Vance team. Because JD Vance, like seriously, I also see so many people online. They're always like saying the same thing. All right, JD Vance is gonna be better than the Democrats. How do you even know about it? Like how can you say that? Like take a look at this administration with Trump. People also like so many people, they really believe that like JD Vance is gonna be so different than Trump. He is part of the problem. How can he be different? Look at all these disasters from this Trump administration, and then you really believe that JD Vance is gonna be different than everything what he has been doing now for the past 2 years? Of course not. It will only be worse. And then you have so many people, they voted for Trump, they regret voting for him, and now they really think that like if they're gonna vote for JD Vance, all right, it will be totally different. It's gonna be exactly the same. It's so stupid. And this shows you, sometimes it's very sad for me to like see all these people on social media. It's like so easy to trick them. It's so easy to trick them. Now they are complaining for the past 2 years and for the next 2 years that Trump betrayed us. But these same people, they will vote for JD Vance, and then and again for the next in the next 4 years they're gonna complain again, like on social media. Grow up, people. Think twice before you're gonna vote for someone. I mean, like, of course, decide for yourself who you're gonna vote for. But if you don't like this administration, why would you vote for like the vice president who is like almost responsible for all these disasters of this administration? Like, it doesn't make any sense at all, right? Sometimes I'm so surprised how people think, and it's so easy to like trick them. Grow up. Think twice before you're gonna vote for JD Plan.
So anyway, it's getting really, really weird. And I will tell you this much. I trust me. I trust you. I only trust people younger than me because they're not feds. And I will say this. Everybody in this administration, Trump, Vance, Rubio, Hegseth, I don't want one of them. Anybody that worked for Fox News ever. Oh, well, he hasn't worked for Fox News in 3 years. Him. You worked for Rupert Murdoch for 10 years. Rupert Murdoch was paying you $20 million a year for 10 years. You. I don't trust you. Get out of my head. Oh, you're against Israel now? Oh, great. Just when we needed it. Only after everybody on earth was red-pilled. Only after everybody and literally their grandfather was red-pilled by Instagram Reels. Oh, now Tucker's against Israel. Thanks a lot. Only after we all got red-pilled. So I don't trust you. And here's my message. It's the same message as before. 2026, vote down. I'm a Democrat now. I'm a moderate Democrat in 2026. I don't know about 28. For 2026, I am a non-woke Democrat. Hi, my name's Nick Fuentes. I'm an Afro-Latino, non-woke Democrat. I care about affordability. I care about foreign interventions. I care about the border. I'm a non-woke moderate Democrat. I think the GOP needs to be destroyed. I think the corrupt criminal government of Trump needs to be slowed down. We need to impeach the orange. It's time to put this in a peach. Trump needs to be placed inside of a crystal. He needs to be impeached. This fat orange, tiny hands needs to be impeached. And then in 28, no Vance, no Rubio. We have to burn down the whole party. We need to elect a dark horse who's going to put America first. I'm not listening to anybody else. No Vance, no Rubio, America first. And that is all that matters anymore. That is the only thing that matters. I'm not voting for a Democrat unless it's like me, unless it's a Nick Fuentes Democrat. Unless a Nick Fuentes Democrat wins the nomination, I won't vote for a Democrat. I'm never Vance. I'm never Rubio. I'm an America First guy. So Tucker and all the rest of them, they're going to try to shut me down. They're going to try to get Vance in there in 28. And you got to wisen up and realize we got to take our own side here. None of this nonsense. It disgusts me. It's like you're not even talking to a human being. This guy is like an alien life form Who even is this person? Who does that? We eat dinner. He invites me out. First of all, so manipulative. The guy is just like, this guy is a f***ing cop. Me and Tucker have this feud for years. I do this big show exposing him. He calls me on the phone and he's like, sorry, I got so mad at you. Yeah, my dad is in the CIA. I didn't know. I just got the paperwork after he died and I'm just really upset about it. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, yeah, like you want to talk about how you tried to ruin my life with the Joe Kent thing? And he's like, no, I don't want to talk about that. I'm like, okay. Then he invites me on the show. We go to dinner. He's very friendly. We have dinner for like 4 hours. He's nothing but friendly, nothing but nice, but he's also like grilling me about stuff. We do the show. You saw the show. It was very friendly. He didn't press me at all. He texts me after the show, hey man, really enjoyed that. So interesting. I'm really glad we did it, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes and his mother every day since, going on every interview saying, I invited him on my show so that he could run his mouth and expose himself. What a bad person he is because he hates women and he's an anti-Semite. And I tried to do an intervention. I tried to tell him that anti-Semitism was wrong, but it didn't work. I regret the interview. He's a distraction. I fell for... It's like, no, bro, you tried to knock me off. You failed. Clearly, you're a manipulative liar. Clearly, everything you say is a lie and you're a manipulative liar. That phone call was a little trick. The interview was a little trick. You clearly were trying to knock me off. It didn't work. It hurt you and it helped me. Now you're upset about that because it's hurting your boy Vance. Now you want to come out and say, oh, I regret it. I should have never done it. He's just a big distraction. This is politics, guys. That's how politics works. But I guess the takeaway here about that aspect of it is this. People are always telling me, hey, come on, man, Tucker's a good guy. Hey, come on, man, you and Tucker agree on everything. Hey, come on, Tucker said some base things last week. Here's what you need to understand. These people in politics are not like us. They're not real people. They all have an agenda.
Okay, like fair point. This is true. Like many of these people, they do have their own agenda. Like that's just a fact. And this is also the reason why you should be very careful who you're actually gonna listen to. By the way, can you not say the same about like Nick Fuentes? How do we know that like Nick Fuentes is also not like pushing his own agenda? So that's kind of tricky for me as well. But I'm getting a little bit annoyed, a little side note. I'm getting a little bit annoyed because I heard this story multiple times already between this feud between Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. And Nick is always like repeating himself. I know this by now. But what are you gonna do? Are you gonna like cry like babies over and over again? Like, all right, this is wrong about you. That's wrong about you. And at the same time, they're always complaining about so many of these important problems in our country, about like the Trump administration, about like JD Vance, about like Peter Thiel, about like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? Like, are you gonna complain the whole time? Are you gonna fight each other like babies? Or are you just gonna settle and you're gonna think about, all right, maybe we are different in some kind of ways, but at least we want the best for this country, so maybe at some point we have to work together. And if you don't want to work together, that's also fine, but then stop wasting your time with constantly like fighting each other, constantly like calling each other out. It's so stupid. But I have to give this side note. I actually believe Nick is more responsible of this than Tucker Carlson, because I like Nick, you know this by now, but I also have to be honest, I'm not a hypocrite. Nick is always fighting with other people. It's never him. He's always pointing his finger towards other people. Then it's Candace Owens, then it's Tucker Carlson, then it's like Alex Jones. It's always other people, and Nick is not wrong. He always say that he is never wrong. Sorry, but that's also like stupid. Grow up, stop fighting each other over and over, solve some actual problems, and if you don't want to do this, stop fighting each other and just go your own way. Tucker does his thing and Nick does his thing. Fine, right? You don't have to be friends if you don't like each other. No one is demanding that you have to be friends, but stop using... I almost feel like they're just making money by constantly like calling each other out. This is just the way how they make money. They get more attention, and I'm getting a little bit annoyed by that. They are acting like babies, or Nick is sometimes acting like a baby. I just wanted to say this because this story, I heard this now for the 5th millionth time already. Maybe it's just me for like freaking out a little bit, but grow up.
Okay, so when people look at these influencers and they say, hey, come on, he's like a good dude or something, it's like, dude, he's a performer. That's like watching The Office and saying, Dwight's a really nice guy. It's like, dude, that's an actor. That is an actor with a real name and a real address playing a role and reading a script on TV. It's the same thing with Tucker. And so you need to understand, these are not relationships of affinity. Me and Tucker are not going to be buddies because we like each other, because I like the cut of his jib. We get along and we're there for each other. It ain't like that, okay? At the best, it's a competitive media market and it's capitalistic and we're competing for the same audience. At the worst, we are in some kind of spy game. He is involved with the intelligence apparatus. I represent a threat to some kind of weird power thing going on there, and he is trying to neutralize me. Everything he says to me, he's not looking to be my buddy. He's not looking out for me. He's not trying to be my mentor. He doesn't care about my well-being. It's not about affinity, whether we like each other, whether we're going to, bump each other on the elbow and say, hey, come on, pal, let's get a drink. Oh, how about it? It ain't like that. It ain't like that. But people think it is like that. Why don't my favorite E-celebrities get along? It isn't like that. So you need to understand that we are in a war. We are in a war with forces we barely understand. Okay? You see where I come from. You've seen my addresses, okay? Google it. You've seen my address. You see where I live. You see where I grew up, my high school. You know what I'm about. You know I came from the same station as most of you. If anything, you guys are better off than I was. And you need to recognize that we are in this together. We are a team. We are a force. United, let's say, to borrow a phrase from a disastrous conference. We are united against these forces that, like I said, we don't even understand. Buckley's dad is Tucker. Tucker's dad is Dick Carlson. Dick Carlson's parents are whatever. It's generational. These people have been in power for generations. They know how it works. You think Tucker's dad never told him and his brother how the CIA works? Did your dad tell you how the CIA works? Did your dad tell you about his work at the Institute for Strategic Defense or whatever? No. These people have been in politics for generations, and they pass the knowledge down and they help each other out. They are on a different team. So they know and we don't. They participate and we're not participants. So you need to get that through your head that we really and truly are a team animated against this cabal, this clique that, you can try to discern it, but it's going to take us a long time to really understand it because all we have is what we can read on the internet. They're in it and they've been in it and they have those relationships for generations. We're on Twitter. It's asymmetrical. We are at a disadvantage. Recognize that. You don't have to be smarter than them. You just have to be smart enough to know that they know more than you. You understand the difference? We don't have to necessarily be smarter than Tucker. We don't need to know everything Tucker knows, but we do need to recognize there's an asymmetry, and that needs to come with it some skepticism. Wait a second. I'm only getting the open source information on Twitter. All your friends are in the CIA. I don't trust you. You know things I don't know. Why are you talking to me? You're manipulating me. That's the kind of mindset you need. Why is Tucker always on his show saying, and I know that for a fact. I have sources, Netanyahu said this, and I know that. It's like, how do you know that? We don't know that. What are we going to take your word for that? We're on Twitter. All your Joe Ken and Vance and Peter Thiel, they're all in the CIA. So what is that? So anyway, that's the interview. Those are my thoughts on the whole thing.
Okay, so now when Nick explained himself a little bit more and I can understand where he is coming from, I do have to admit that I kind of agree with him. He has some very good points and I'm not trying to glaze him or something, but I'm just trying to be honest. I agree with him on this one. I also think it's very weird that many of these powerful people, many of these people who are always in the picture, that somehow they're always connected with each other. It's kind of weird, right? What Nick just said here, this whole connection between Tucker Carlson, Peter Thiel, Joe Kent, JD Plant. That's kind of weird, right? It's almost like these people, they're grouping together to take care of each other, to help each other. And then people, they really expect that these people that they care about, the normal people. No, they just look at us like we are almost different kind of creatures than them. So I can understand where Nick is coming from. But on the other hand, I'm also all right, so what are we going to do? We can complain about this the whole time. They they will be in their elite kind of groups anyways. They don't care about us as long as we are just complaining, like me in this video or like Nick with his show. It's not gonna solve anything. It's not gonna change anything, right? They're just laughing at us at this point. So I'm almost like Nick. If you really want to change this, if this is really like bothering you like that much, maybe you should try to like infiltrate like these elite kind of groups. Maybe you should like try to like infiltrate like the political system, because that's the only way how you can really like change this. And if you want to do this, maybe you have to like work together with Tucker Carlson a little bit, because if you're not gonna do that, again, like they will just look at us and they will be like, all right, fine, let these people like have their little show, let these people just complain online, it's not gonna change anything for us. We are here, like we are very close connected to like the president, we are very close like connected to all these political to like the political system. And again, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theory guy, but you can admit that like all these people somehow, like Elon Musk and all these other rich people, they're always like connected with each other, right? That's kind of weird. Why? Because they help each other out, and that's not in favor of us. Believe me, all these people, they are playing games behind our back. It's not in favor of us. It's only like in favor of themselves, in favor of their friends, their families, their biggest donors. That's just how it always goes. And this is almost like politics in a nutshell. These people, they only care about each other. They need us, or the moment when they need us, they act like they care about us, and when they don't need us anymore, they don't care about us as well. So that's just how it goes. So I'm happy that like Nick points this out, but on the other hand, I'm like, oh, all right, we do know the problem. Many people, they know this by now, but how are we gonna change this? Because if we're gonna keep complaining about this forever, it's also not gonna solve anything, right? So that's like kind of stupid. It's also like a little bit a waste of time, but I'm happy that Nick points this out. But how are we going to change this? I think it's better than to work together, try to like infiltrate these kind of groups. Fighting with Tucker Carlson, for example, like long story short, fighting with Tucker Carlson is not going to solve anything. I think it's better, if you really want to like make a change, you can better like work together, use the same tactics as they are using. That's just like how I would do it. But again, this is just my opinion. I'm very, very curious about like your opinion. Do you agree with Nick on this one? Do you trust Tucker? Are you like Team Tucker or are you like Team Nick Fuentes? I'm very curious about like who you support. Do you actually support Tucker Carlson more, or do you support Nick Fuentes more? Please let me know in the comments. Who is the fat? Is it Tucker Carlson or is it like Nick Fuentes? Please let me know in the comments. It's very important to say. I'll read all comments. I even try to reply to some of your comments, so please let me know. As well, guys, if you like this video, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. If you really like these kind of videos, consider subscribing. I would appreciate it even more. And then you make sure you don't miss anything. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.